Love is the fire that warms the heart, and the flame that burns it to ashes. That is what the elders of Kariba used to say when the harmattan winds blew from the east, carrying whispers of old stories and older wounds. And it is the line that begins this tale, a tale woven with love, betrayal, power, taboo, and a destiny that no mortal could outrun. For in the golden-brown kingdom of Sahira, where the dunes rolled like sleeping beasts and the sky forever shimmered with heat, there lived a young woman named Zahara, whose life began with light but ended under a shadow no sun could burn away. This is her story. And like all great tragedies, it begins softly. They said Zahara was born during the night of the Whispering Sands, a night when the desert winds rose suddenly, swirling around the huts and rattling the calabashes hung by the doors. Babies born on that night were believed to carry deep intuition, the gift of hearing things the ordinary ear could not. Zahara grew into a quiet, thoughtful young woman with eyes the color of wet earth after rain. Her skin held the bronze glow of the Fulani women of the savannah, and her smile, when it appeared, was gentle enough to calm a child in mid-cry. Her father was a leather worker. Her mother dyed fabrics with indigo by the river. They were simple people, but they carried dignity like a second skin. Zahara's life was peaceful, until she met Habeeb. He was the beloved son of the chief trader of Sahira, tall, handsome, with a voice that poured like warm honey and a confidence that made elders smile and say, "This boy will rule the markets one day." Zahara had seen him a few times at the market, always surrounded by apprentices and workers. But she never imagined he noticed her. Until the day he approached her. She had come to the market to deliver dyed cloth to a merchant. Habeeb saw her, stopped his horse, stared a moment longer than polite, and then smiled a smile that seemed to lower the heat of the sun itself. "Your cloth is beautiful," he said. Zahara bowed shyly. "It is my mother's work, not mine. But the beauty suits your hands," he replied. She blushed. And that was how it began. Slowly, softly, like the first breeze before a long desert storm. For 2 years, Zahara and Habeeb loved each other as though love itself was food they both needed to survive. He would meet her by the river, bringing figs wrapped in cloth, or stories he had heard while traveling with traders. She would braid small threads of indigo into cords for him to wear around his wrist. They carved a small symbol together on the trunk of a date palm, a tiny sun above a crescent moon. "We are each other's sky," Habeeb said the day he carved it. Zahara believed him. Believed every word he said with the innocence of a heart that had never tasted pain. Their families approved. Their engagement was set. The wedding date was only 3 moons away. People began calling them the desert sun and the river moon, 2 opposite forces destined to balance each other. But the desert is a jealous thing. And balance is a fragile guest. In the heart of Sahira's bustling marketplace stood a towering structure known as the Golden Hall, owned by a man whose name brought either fear or admiration, Malik Darren. He was the wealthiest merchant in the entire region, supplier of salt, incense, rare herbs, and goods from distant kingdoms beyond the dunes. His caravans stretched like long snakes across the horizon, guarded by warriors loyal to him alone. But he had another reputation too. He was Habeeb's fiercest rival. Their competition was legendary. The sons of merchants often clashed, but Malik and Habeeb's fathers once fought over a massive trade deal that ended in broken trust and bitter silence. The feud carried to their sons like a sickness inherited in the blood. Malik was older, perhaps in his mid-30s, handsome in a severe, chiseled way. His eyes were always sharp, always watching, always calculating. He rarely smiled, but when he did, people said it could make even a stubborn camel kneel. He saw Zahara only once before her engagement, when she came to the Golden Hall to deliver indigo cloth. He had paused, stared, and said quietly, "You have the look of someone the desert will test." She didn't understand what he meant. She only bowed and left quickly, feeling a strange coldness run down her spine. She forgot about the encounter. He did not. 2 weeks before her wedding, Zahara woke before dawn, eager to prepare cloth for the celebration. She hummed softly as she worked. Her heart felt like a drum beaten by happiness. Ugh. She overheard whispers behind the dying hut. Two women talking. Did you not hear? They said Habeeb and the widow from the northern quarter. Zahara froze. No, the other woman gasped. Yes, they say she visited him many nights, even before he and Zahara were engaged. Zahara felt her chest tighten painfully. Lie. Must be a lie. The widow was known for her beauty. Soft curves, gentle voice, henna that reached her wrists. Many men admired her, but Zahara never imagined. Her hands shook. Her throat closed. Her heartbeat thrashed like a trapped bird. That evening she went to the river, where she and Habeeb always met. He arrived smiling as always until he saw her face. What happened? He asked, reaching for her hands. She pulled away. Tell me the truth. Habeeb frowned. What truth? About the widow. About the nights you spent with her. Habeeb swallowed once hard. His silence was an answer sharper than a blade. Zahara, he began. No. Say the truth. He looked down. It was before you and I became serious. Before I knew I loved you. I made a mistake. Many nights, she asked quietly. He didn't answer. Her chest cracked open. Her world began to crumble. You swore, she whispered. You swore you had never touched anyone else. I said it to protect you. Her tears fell like warm rain. You lied to protect yourself, she said. Not me. He tried to hold her, but she stepped back so fast he looked stunned. Everything she believed in suddenly felt like boiling sand slipping through her fingers. Ran. He followed her to her home, shouting her name, begging her to listen. But Zahara locked herself inside and cried until her breath hurt. The next morning she called off the wedding. News of the broken engagement spread through Sahira like wildfire. Some pitied Zahara. Others whispered that maybe she wasn't good enough for Habeeb. Betrayal carries a strange smoke. It clouds the eyes of the innocent. Malik Darren heard the news too. He smiled. Then he ordered 2 of his men. Bring her father to me. The father, frightened but confused, came to the Golden Hall. Malik offered him tea, then spoke plainly. I want to marry your daughter. The father nearly dropped the cup. But, my lord, she was engaged. And she is heartbroken. She needs time. Time is a luxury I do not offer. But, Malik, you are her former fiancé's rival. People will talk. People always talk, Malik replied calmly. But I do not follow their tongues. I follow my will. And why Zahara? The father whispered. What do you want with her? Malik leaned back. She is the kind of woman a man marries only once in his life. The kind whose loyalty becomes an armor. And the kind whose beauty quiets a restless heart. The father hesitated, torn between fear and desperation. Malik added softly. I will pay her bride price in gold. Enough to lift your family from labor forever. The father swallowed. The desert outside howled. And so, with trembling hands, the father agreed. Zahara was stunned when her parents told her. Marry Malik Darren, she whispered. Why? Why would you agree to that? Her mother held her face gently. He is powerful, my child. He will protect you. He will give you a future brighter than the one you lost. I don't want brightness, Zahara cried. I want peace. I want honesty. I want Habeeb, her father asked quietly. Her silence was an admission. You cannot build a home on broken trust, her father said. He wounded you. Malik wants to cherish you. I do not love him, Zahara responded. Love can grow, her mother whispered. But betrayal only grows deeper. Zahara cried until her throat felt scraped raw. That night, Habeeb came to her window. His eyes red, his voice trembling. Please, he whispered. Do not marry him. I will fix everything. I will make this right. Zahara, I swear. You swore before, she replied hollowly. Words mean nothing from your lips. Zahara, don't do this, he begged. You're choosing him to hurt me. No, she whispered. I'm choosing someone who wants me. Not someone who wanted everyone else. His tears fell silently. In that moment, something between them died. A soft, fragile thing that no one noticed until it was too late. Zahara agreed to marry Malik. And so began the twist of fate that would unravel every heart tied to hers. Malik's wedding was an event people would talk about for generations. He spared no expense. Musicians, dancers, carpets imported from distant kingdoms, maras decorated in gold thread. But Zahara wore no smile. Her henna trembled on her hands. Her veil felt heavy. And when Malik lifted her chin and said, "You are mine now," she felt something inside her curl in fear. Habeeb watched from a distance. His hands clenched, his jaw tight, his heart broken. People said Malik's smile that night was the kind a man wears only when he wins a war. They were right. Malik's mansion overlooked the entire kingdom. High walls, carved doors, fountains that sang through the night. He treated Zahara with gentleness at first. Soft words, expensive gifts, silks, jewelry, perfumed oils. He wanted her to love him, truly love him. But Zahara gave him only politeness, respect, silence, distance. Malik realized quickly that her heart was not his. "Tell me," he asked one night, "is it because I am older? Because I am feared? Or because you still love him?" Her eyes remained still. "My heart is healing." "Then let me heal it." "You cannot. It must heal itself." He stared at her. Something dark flickered in his eyes. A shadow that had been waiting. Habeeb could not let go. He sent letters Zahara never opened. He sent gifts Zahara returned. He waited by roads she no longer walked. His life became a downward spiral. Failing business deals, sleepless nights, constant thoughts of her. His father scolded him. His mother prayed for him. His friends begged him to move on. But love, once wounded, becomes a stubborn ghost. One day, he approached Malik's mansion, seeking a final chance. The guards blocked him. Malik stepped out himself. Their eyes clashed like blades. "You lost," Malik said simply. "Accept it." "She is not your trophy," Habeeb spat. Malik smiled coldly. "She is my wife." Habeeb's chest twisted painfully. "Does she love you?" "She will." "And if she doesn't?" Malik's eyes hardened. "Then she will learn." Habeeb left with fury burning his soul. Zahara tried, truly tried, to settle into married life. Malik would bring her rare spices, stories from traders, poems written in foreign scripts. He would sit beside her at night, watching her as though she were something sacred. But she could not give him what he wanted most. Love grows only where trust lives. And Malik's shadow frightened her in ways she could never name. Yet sometimes, rarely, she saw glimpses of gentleness in him. A softness that felt almost like yearning. A loneliness behind his fierce reputation. Confused her. One night she asked him, "Why did you want to marry me?" His voice was low, almost vulnerable. "Because I saw in you a piece I have searched for all my life. And when I want something, Zahara, I do not lose it." His honesty should have warmed her. Instead, it terrified her. Rumors began spreading in Sahira. That girl still loves Habeeb. She married Malik only to wound her first love. Malik will not tolerate such things much longer. Zahara ignored them or tried. But Malik heard them all. And each whisper was a needle in his pride. One evening, after returning from a long trade journey, he asked Zahara, "Do you still think of him?" Her silence was a confession. Malik's jaw flexed. "You are my wife," he said slowly. "Your thoughts belong here." "My thoughts belong to me," she replied gently. His hand slammed the table. She flinched. He immediately softened, reaching for her. "I'm sorry. I want you. All of you." "You cannot force a heart to move," she whispered. But he was already unraveling. Habeeb's obsession grew until he could no longer think straight. One night, he waited near the mansion gates, hoping to see Zahara even for a moment. When she stepped out to release a lantern in the garden, he whispered her name. They turned. Their eyes met. The world froze. "Why did you come?" she whispered. "I needed to see you. You shouldn't be here." "Do you still love me?" he asked. Tears gathered in her eyes. "That is not a question a married woman should answer. It is the only question that keeps me alive," he said. She shook her head, trembling. "You must leave, Habeeb. Tell me you don't love me and I will." She looked away. Couldn't speak. And that was enough. But Malik had seen them. He had watched from the balcony, his heart a furnace of betrayal and fury. Malik did not confront Zahara immediately, nor Habeeb. He waited, plotted, burned quietly. His traders blocked Habeeb's goods in the market. His influence turned suppliers against him. Within 2 months, Habeeb's business collapsed. Habeeb knew exactly who was behind it. But he was powerless. Malik owned the desert. And Zahara watched all of it, helpless, knowing the destruction was because of her. Guilt dug deep into her soul. One night she approached Malik quietly. "Why are you doing this? You know why. You cannot destroy him because of me. I can destroy anyone because of you." His words were soft, deadly. Zahara stepped back, her breath hitching. "Please," she begged. "This is not strength. This is fear." That pierced him. He turned away, gripping a pillar until his knuckles whitened. "Do not make me the villain in your heart," he whispered. "You are making yourself one," she replied. Something shattered between them that night, a delicate thread of hope that had been holding them together. Zahara fell ill soon after. Stress, guilt, a heart torn in too many directions. Her mother came to stay with her. Malik hired the best herbalists. But Zahara's spirit felt like a cloth left too long in harsh sun, faded, brittle. One evening, she confessed to her mother, "I do not love Malik. I do not trust Habeeb. And I do not know who I am anymore." Her mother stroked her hair. "Life gives us storms we never asked for. But you must learn to stand in the rain." Zahara wept in her mother's lap. Meanwhile, Habeeb, now poorer than ever, sat in his empty shop day after day, staring at the dust and thinking of Zahara until his heart ached like an open wound. And Malik paced every night, haunted by the sight of Zahara's tears and the memory of her looking at another man with a softness she never gave him. 3 lives broken, all from one love story. One afternoon, Zahara received a message. "Meet me by the river at sunset. Please, Habeeb." She stared at the note for a long time. Her heart fluttered. Her mind screamed no. But she went. He was waiting under the old tree, the one where they carved sun and moon. He looked thinner, sadder, older. "Zahara," he whispered. She held her shawl tightly. "This is dangerous." "Malik." "I don't care about Malik," Habeeb said. "I care about you. I always have." "You cared about yourself more," she replied softly. He bowed his head in shame. "Please," he whispered. "I need to know. Is there even a small piece of you that still loves me?" Her heart squeezed painfully. And then, rustling behind them, a step. Malik. He had followed her. Malik stepped out from behind the dunes, his face carved from stone. Zahara froze. Habeeb braced. Malik's voice was low. "To come. So this is where you meet." Zahara stepped between them. "Malik, please. I gave you everything," Malik said quietly. "Everything. And you give your heart to the one man I hate most." "It is not like that." "It is exactly like that." His voice cracked. Habeeb stepped forward. "This is not her fault." Malik's hand shot up. "Do not speak." The wind stilled. The river hushed. Even the birds seemed to sense tragedy approaching. "You ruined me once," Malik said to Habeeb. "In business, in reputation, in love. I will not let you ruin me again." Habeeb lifted his chin. "I ruined your pride. That is all. And that was the final spark. Malik moved first. Not with a sword. Not with fists. With words. If you come near my wife again, I will bury you in the desert where even the vultures cannot find you. Zahara gasped. Habeeb stepped closer, fury burning through his grief. She is not your possession. Malik's hand went to his dagger. Zahara screamed. Stop! Both men froze. Her voice broke like thunder. No more, she cried. I will not be the cause of bloodshed. I will not watch two men destroy themselves because of me. She looked at Habeeb. We are finished. He flinched like she stabbed him. Then she looked at Malik. And you will release me. Malik's world stopped. What? I want a divorce. Habeeb's breath caught. Malik's eyes widened, wild. No, Malik said. You cannot. I am already dead inside this marriage, Zahara whispered. Let me go. Malik shook his head slowly. No, Zahara, no. Cannot lose you. Not to him. Not to the desert. Not to anyone. You never had me, she whispered. Those 4 words shattered him. Like a glass vessel dropped on stone. Zahara returned home. Malik did not follow. He locked himself in his mansion. Habeeb wandered the dunes that night, drunk on grief. Zahara fell into fever again. 3 souls breaking quietly. Then tragedy struck. A sandstorm, the worst in 50 years, swept across Sahira, destroying farms, burying caravans, collapsing walls. Zahara, weak and ill, could not escape her hut in time. Her mother covered her body with hers. Her father held the door shut. But the storm broke through. Zahara inhaled too much dust. Her lungs fought. Her breath failed. By the time the storm ended, she was gone. The desert took her gently, almost tenderly, as though reclaiming a daughter it had always known would return. They buried her by the river, the place where her heart had lived even when her life did not. Habeeb was there, kneeling, sobbing into the soil until his tears turned the sand to mud. Malik arrived later, alone, walking like a man who carried a body made of stone. He placed a single indigo cloth on her grave, the cloth she once brought to his hall. Then he whispered, barely audible, I would have learned to love gently, if you had stayed. Habeeb stood behind him. For once, there was no hatred between them, only emptiness. We lost her, Habeeb said. Malik closed his eyes. No, he whispered. I lost her the moment she loved you. They did not fight. They simply stood beside each other. 2 broken men staring at the same grave. Sahira mourned for moons. People told the story of Zahara with softness and sorrow. Some said she died of a broken heart. Others said the desert claimed what the storm of love had already shattered. The elders said, when love becomes a battlefield, no heart survives. Habeeb never married. He left Sahira, traveling from kingdom to kingdom, carrying nothing but grief. Malik became colder, harsher, feared more than ever. But sometimes at sunset, he would disappear for hours. His servants never knew where he went. But the river did. Years later, children would ask their mothers, why did Zahara die so young? And the answer was always the same. Because love, when twisted with pride and pain, becomes a fire that burns the one who holds it. Zahara's story became a proverb among traders and lovers alike. A heart divided between 2 men belongs fully to none, and is destroyed by both. And the desert winds carried her name for generations. The end. A tragedy woven with the threads of love, betrayal, destiny, and loss, exactly as the elders warn. Love is the fire that warms the heart, and the flame that burns it to ashes.